Howdy, howdy, it's the morning howdy.
Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Morning Howdy. Like every episode, howdy. So today's topic is pain. How fast does pain travel through the body? It travels around 250 miles per hour. So when you touch something from your finger different from your toes, the length of time will actually be a tiny bit different. If you're feeling something on your nose and you're feeling something on your toes and you touch it at the same time, your body will think it's at the same time. Your body will program it to be that way, but the sense is actually at different times because each point travels at around 250 miles per hour. The sensor, because it has to go from your toes to your spine, then up to your spine, all the way to your brain. And whenever you touch anything, it's your A delta fibers and your C fibers, the ones that are processing the sense of pain or touch per se, because the sense of touch and pain are generally pretty much the same. And the reason I want to talk about pain is because without pain, we wouldn't have the desire to want to eat better, to want to live better, to want to be bigger, you know? Because if we never have, first of all, stomach from being hungry, you know, that's generally the first pain we suffer. And, you know, right when we come out of the umbilical cord, it all starts with the stomach, generally. You know, you got to feed the baby. You start with hunger. So what did we do to feed our hunger? We found food. It was always that little resources, or there's an animal, but then the food spoils because we don't know how to preserve the food. So generally, you know, we go looking for the nuts and the berries, right? We want to, but that's not we still have a lot of stomach pain. We're still hungry. So we find bigger sources of food. And then we find ways to have more food. You know, have it on the side so whenever I get hungry, it's right there. We just keep stepping it up and up so we can make the pain less. But without the pain, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are today. Every animal, right, gets hungry. That's the first thing about any creature. They feed some type of way. Plants, they feed, you know, photosynthesis, but they need the water. They need the light. You know, the light is part of they can't just have water, you know. We have solids and we need our liquids, and, you know, we breathe with our gas. We're one state, you know, of all those states of matter in one, generally. But we feel pain in lots of other ways. You know, not just stomach pain because we're hungry. Now it's in the home and shelter. We're cold, and cold is a pain itself whenever it's for long periods of time. You know, we start to shake, we start to get sick, and sick is its own pain. Then we find the shelter, right? We build a shelter, we make our living condition livable. That's less pain on us. So what's the next pain that we have? If it's not our home and shelter, right, the environments, the elements, you know, we're warm enough now, we're out of the rain, we got the food. The next source of pain that we might feel lonely. You know, if we're all alone, that's its own type of pain, is loneliness. The source for attention. You know, we might get past that state. So mentally, it's not really a physically thing of pain versus the others. It's more of a mental state. So once we have our food, once we have our shelter, once we're okay with just being by ourselves, just say at first. Then we get to more physical pain. We want to venture off. With venturing off, you have to be careful by the terrain. You know, you have to make sure you don't step on anything sharp out there. And, you know, there's sticks, there's ants, there's predators, and we never know how deadly the predators are until they inflict pain on us. So we start to figure out what the things we shouldn't eat, the things we shouldn't mess with, and the things that we shouldn't step on. Okay, these are all different sources of pain. But we all started from a point of not knowing, but with pain, with the experience of having these complications that are physical. You know, you start to realize the things to acquire, things not to acquire. And you know, we don't even realize all the things we need now. And all the things we have now, it makes our pain less. And I could go on and on about all those things. But, you know, I'll leave it to y'all to decide. Because we're all different. Things to us aren't as a big deal to others. You know, we might feel pain because someone says something rude to us. You know, to other people, saying something doesn't matter. It's just a word, you know. But some people are different. Some people get bullied, especially with young people. But we all grow from pain. We all grow from the little things. We become bigger. We become stronger, more intelligent. The reason I want to talk about pain is because it's not that we should be experiencing pain. If we have never felt pain at all, we wouldn't be alive. We wouldn't be sane if we've never felt pain. We would be numb. What would we be if we never felt anything? And those are the things that worry me out. So there's a quote. I feel most alive when rapidly approaching my death. It's a quote. And it's one of those weird things. It's because some people just become numb. Everything is too easy for them. There's not enough pain. Things become boring. You know, the body. I'm not going to say the body wants pain, but it wants your body gets bored. We get bored. We can fall in love with things so we never get bored. Yeah, that's something we can do, but we get bored. Can our bodies get bored of not experiencing pain? It's questionable because, like I said, we're all different. But me personally, I'm going to say yes. I feel like the body will get bored. Because even the Buddha, eating the food, getting big, you know, he knew, he realized, then he starved himself. You know, people don't know the way of how the Buddha happened. You know, he was a rich royalty guy. I'm not going to go into detail about this. But then he saw the peasants, you know, and then he realized there's more to life than the life he's living. He went to experience the pain. You know, he starved himself. You know, he wasn't living under the roof of the palace anymore. You know, and this is why he was such a respectable person to this day. So he wanted to experience the pain. What life really is. Life is pain. Life is feeling. We have good feelings, but we wouldn't have good feelings if we never had bad feelings. If we go to the gym, we work out, and people don't shoot for the pain. People just go just to hit the list, and when they're tired, they stop. This is the biggest mistake when going to the gym, because the gym is breaking the barrier. The barrier you're on right now, and we're always put into a barrier. We can break out of a barrier, but there's always a limit to it, you know, of what we're capable of doing. But it all depends on where we're trying to reach, you know, the door we're trying to walk through. And when we're at the gym, we have to have a door we want to walk through, and we have to experience the pain, the trials, and the errors. You got to push yourself. Your body needs to feel the pain to realize, look, to not feel the pain that my body is feeling, I need to grow more muscles. You know, people say you're not supposed to go and be dead tomorrow. You know, you're not supposed to be not able to move. You're not supposed to destroy yourself. You're supposed to work diligently and efficiently. But it's like, if you never have worked out before, you need to put your body in shock. And it's weird for anyone to say that. You need to put your body in shock. You know, maybe you need to take your baby steps. But you really need to know. You really need to put yourself in a life or death situation, but not in a life or death situation. And just put some weight over you. You know, the ones that aren't going to drop on you, you know, go to the machines and just push and push. And just push yourself to see how many pushes you can do. Say you have to reach 100, but it's emotional content. Emotional content is what drives us. because it's all mental. And when we have that emotional content, it's like someone who wants revenge. If someone wants revenge, they're going to get revenge. It drives them crazy. We all need that emotional content when we do anything to drive ourselves to be the best we can. Say we've always been poor, just having an image of yourself, of what you used to be. So that emotional content can drive you in your work to get through the rest of the day. And you put it onto yourself, whatever it is, more emotional content. And that is pain. Emotional content is a bad memory, is pain. It's a pain that we remember. But pain only makes us stronger. So we don't forget about the pain. We don't go to the gym and just forget that it's there, because then we'll reach that barrier and then we won't push ourselves any farther. We'll be like, we got here. No. You always remember the pain, and you have to feed off the pain. The pain makes you stronger. The pain is what lifts us up. To say, no, I can do more. I'm capable of more than whatever my body is telling me I'm capable of. I know mentally. See, our body, it's like a horse. You can ride it all day, but it'll ride until it dies. It doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't know. The horse is not as mental as we are. You know, if the horse only knew it was smarter than us, it wouldn't want to be a horse, you know? But the horse says we'll never know it's smarter than us. Most animals will never know that it's capable. Not that in a sense it can create things. It doesn't have thumbs, but you know, the horse has incredible hearing. It's stronger than us. You know, it can live off the grass. It's easier for it to live, and it's, you know, just a better human in a sense. Like, it's just like, I'm getting this off a quote that if the horse knew it was smarter than the human, you know, things would just be a different way. But the reason I want to bring up the pain is because I know all of us are experiencing pain in some type of way. And I want you to grow off of that. I want you to just take in what it is and how it is and store it. And whenever you feel yourself in doubt, use that emotional content that you stored in your head and drive you. Because we all have minutes or even seconds of motivation, but then we lose it. It's like a spark, you know, and it doesn't catch fire. We all have times of motivation. We all have times we say we're going to do something. And in my previous one, we always make mistakes, though. We make our mistakes to ourselves. But I want to talk about something that you'll find interesting. So, and it's not just physical pain. You know, like I was saying before, emotional pain, emotional content. Say you've ever had a broken heart. Say the person you love passed away, or someone broke up with you, and your heart hurts. For me, the first time my heart hurt, I questioned it. It didn't make sense to me. But then, you know, I did a little science work and I realized what it was. Then again, we've all had broken hearts. If we haven't yet, just be prepared for something you've never experienced, and it's just one of those things that you should just take in knowledgeably instead of just hurtfully. So, whenever there's a scientific term for it. It's called broken heart syndrome. So, whenever we have a broken heart, or whatever which way it is, someone passes away, we don't win an event that we tried our hardest, that we came in second place, you know, that breaks our heart. You know, there's a lot of scenarios where we get broken hearts. But broken heart syndrome comes from the stress that comes afterwards. We have stress hormones, and they get released whenever we come into these periods of a broken heart that we're devastated. You know, and devastation comes from the pain that we put on ourselves. You know, we tried so hard. It's like after a game of sports, you should always say good game, you know, because everyone is trying their hardest. That's why we all shake hands. It's because even though we hate losing, we should all know it's all going to be okay in the end. But yeah, it's going to be okay, but we still felt the pain and we forget about it and say it's all okay. No, we shouldn't just forget about the pain. Remember, we lost the game. Remember how we felt when we lost. Prepare yourself so you don't have to have that feeling anymore. Your muscles, your mind, whatever the case is, you don't be broke anymore. You know the preparations to take. You keep the pain for the emotional contact to motivate yourself for the future. I'm building up to the main point. Okay? And again, with the broken heart syndrome, It's the muscles. The muscles kind of in a sense become stunned. Your adrenaline, your hormones, your stress hormones, it affects the muscles in your heart. I don't know why it's that muscle. Our heart beats, and everything starts in the heart. Without the beat, we can't be, anything. It would be dead. And it affects the heart. If you have a different beat, you're different that day. Because if with a broken heart, we're not all there. We're not all there. There's a big stress on us. And we need to fix that stress before we go and do anything, because that could be devastating. There's a lot of people who've had heart attacks, who've had heart failure because of a broken heart syndrome. Too much stress on the heart. And it all starts with the mind. We can go through the day and not feel stressed, but we have to have that mentality, to remember the pain. Because if you never remember the pain and it keeps happening, you keep wondering why it keeps happening. And it's just an endless cycle of just... It's like a big man who doesn't want to hit the gym. He's wondering why it's so hard to do everything. Because he doesn't push himself to make things easier for himself. He just lets the pain... It's like a kid getting bullied. At a young age, someone 2 years older can bully you. But we start at a young age. Of course, a kid can develop what it takes to stop getting bullied. He can develop his mental capacity if it's all emotional. If it's physical, he can, I was young. I thought I was getting bullied. When at a very young age, it was just like older sibling friends, you know what I'm saying? They would just pick on me, whatever. I was just younger, but I wanted to be there. I had fun even the times I got picked on. And it was never bullied, but I was weaker, I was like, look, I know I'm always around, people who are just smarter. They're older. I'm at a young age, I just know. And it's not that big of a difference when you're young. But I put myself in a predicament in my mind that if it's an adult, whenever I get older, how can I prepare myself now? If it's because when it's like a kid, to someone who's older than him, like 4 or 5 years, and it's technically like an adult. Someone who's just, a kid versus a teen, there's a real big difference. So I prepared myself at a young age, for if whenever I am a teen and there is an adult, well, what can I do? So and I have the pain. Good thing when I was young, because I know what it's like, and you use the pain, the emotional contact, for the preparations for your day, for whenever the event does come, for the challenge that's the next step in front of you. And the people who have broken hearts, for whatever reason you have a broken heart, just know that it can go away. It can. It all starts with the mind and knowing that everything is going to be okay. And people will tell you it's going to be okay, but you act like it's not. It's the time when you take a deep breath and you let the oxygen in and you're not heaving your guts out, and you say, it's going to be okay. You don't forget. Your loved one passes away. You never forget they passed away. You don't forget the image of who they are. They'll live on with you forever. It's the same concept with any pain you ever feel. And everything that is painful, we take in as strength for the day of tomorrow. Because when we get hungry, we always get hungry at 3, and then we don't want to starve until 7. So we always make sure to carry a little meal on us. We know the pain. We keep the memory. And we grow stronger by being mentally prepared. You see? And remember, don't touch the fire. It's hot. But it takes not how long it takes. The pain travels 270 miles per hour to your brain from the minute you touch the fire. Okay? So if you hold it there, you might not feel it instantly. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why. It's not too hot. You know what I'm saying? That's the shock. It's not instant. You put your hand over the fire like this. You're probably not gonna feel nothing. But the minute you take a second, to actually put the hand over the fire, the sense is so you put your hand and toe on the fire at the same time. There's nothing scientific about it. You just don't do it. Just don't do it. But anything. But yeah. Pain is the gains. With no pain, there is no gains. And I'm going to just come to conclusion of the topic. With pain becomes determination. With determination becomes success. You have to put pain and obstacles in front of you. You have to experience what life is. Because there is no turning off the switch. So instead of it inflicting on us, why don't we seek it? Seek the things that we're scared of, to the point we're not scared of them anymore. Every challenge and adversity will come with pain. But let's experience the pain now, by always taking that step into the fire. No one will come onto the other side fireproof. Until next time, guys. Howdy, howdy.